Without a doubt, when we examine the Star Wars Skywalker saga, the two main characters that really drive the actual stories are, of course, Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker, essentially the family of this major franchise that was created by George Lucas back in 1977. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that we do know about Disney Star Wars is that they are really heading into a different era, a different mythology, if you will, a different, I guess you could say, approach to Star Wars that they really want to make in order to create a better future for this massive franchise, to really regain the lost fans from the sequel trilogy, because there is no doubt about this, that there's a lot of fans that were very well fed up with Star Wars after the release of Episode 9, and especially since the release of The Last Jedi by writer and director Rian Johnson, and how Kathleen Kennedy had a large say in the matter of how that story would be told. So, you can see what Disney's trying to do. This is a major act of desperation in order to make things right, and in order to bring fans into a different era of Star Wars. Now, the thing about Star Wars right now is that it's in a very delicate position. Now, this new Star Wars universe, by the way, it's going to consist of books, novels, comics, video games, movies, and so on and so forth, TV shows, animated TV series. I mean, the list goes on and on. And the thing that's so intriguing about this is that we do know that this particular moment in Disney Star Wars is a very crucial moment, because all of the decisions that are being made right now by the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, are actually going to really better the actual franchise. Now, with that being said, what's really intriguing is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the Skywalker saga, they are moving on to their new Star Wars universe, as well as their new Star Wars trilogy of films. It's explained that Disney has a plan in place in order to reunite the fans and the Star Wars fans around the world of those who had issues with the sequel trilogy films, in order to create a brighter future for Star Wars. It's noted that one of those big plans has to do with handling the character of Luke Skywalker in a more respectful way for Star Wars fans. It's explained that a major set of retcons are being developed by Lucasfilm as we speak, and that George Lucas is heavily involved in these retcons of the sequel trilogy to create a different experience for the fans. This will come in the forms of books, novels, and comics. However, one of the big plans by George Lucas is to incorporate Anakin Skywalker's presence to guide Luke Skywalker more in the sequel trilogy movies with this new Star Wars universe. Not just that, but George Lucas is said to revive many of the Star Wars Legends stories that he personally approved back in the 1990s to bring back into the Disney canon for fans to enjoy. And that some of those Star Wars Legends stories are being prepped for the young Luke Skywalker TV series that is currently in early development. It's known that this plan by Disney is to restore the perception of Luke's character from the fans to propel the Star Wars community into a brand new era and mythology of Star Wars. Not just that, but George Lucas is said to also be a part of bringing in Mara Jade into canon, and how she will know Luke Skywalker in this new expanded universe by Disney. So, the thing about Luke Skywalker is that, yes, a lot of fans have had issues with how he was treated by Rian Johnson, how little of Luke that we got in The Rise of Skywalker. It was all very much unfortunate. There's no denying that. So, when we examine Star Wars as a whole, obviously the future, I think, is going to be better. These new Star Wars movies, all the new Star Wars TV shows coming on Disney+, whether live action or animated form, the fact that Star Wars Legends is going to play a major role into becoming canonized once more in many different ways, and how George Lucas is going to be attached to that, as well as Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I really do believe, I'm very hopeful, that Star Wars is going to see a better future in it. In and on itself, it really is. I believe so. I think that fact that we have a new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, the fact that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have more creative control than Kathleen Kennedy as we speak, it also tells us that we're going to have different tones with these new Star Wars projects. Now, as far as George Lucas goes, as really fixing and saving the character of Luke Skywalker with these tactics, with these techniques, if you will, I think it really is going to be quite a throwback to what we got in the 90s, right? Because in the 90s, we got all these stories of Skywalker that were told that were amazing. Now, mind you, some of those stories were a little out there, I will agree, but the fact that they really are going back to Star Wars Legends and going back to their roots and how they want to apply that also to the young Luke Skywalker TV series that is currently in early development. And the fact that they want to do this, in depth, I think it also tells us that Disney, yes, it may very well be an act of desperation. It may very well be damage control. But at the very minimum, at least they're trying to satisfy fans at this point in time. And I think that in any direction, it actually is good for us, the Star Wars community, the fact that they want to deliver something that is going to be rather enjoyable. Now, is this enough to particularly, fix the character of Luke? That's the biggest question of all, right? Is it enough? That's the question. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to move.